Really, is there any other reason to watch this show?
It's kind of frustrating when my older sister is always lecturing me.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 fights on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at the most memorable Kardashian-centric fights to grace reality TV. Please note, only the main series will be considered, so the spin-offs will have to wait for another day. Number 10. Rob vs. Kim.
You're a dick.
You're a dick.
You have no
You're
manners.
a whore. You have no manners.
At one point or another, all families are going to argue, especially when every single moment of their lives is broadcast for the world to see.
As a dad, you should step in because he's being disrespectful.
Let's go swim with the sharks. Let's go swim with the sharks. It'd be easier.
During what was supposed to be a relaxing trip to Bora Bora, Rob and Kim got into arguably their most iconic fight. One that culminated with Kim's then-fiancé politely requesting permission from Kris Jenner to get physical with her son.
Are you okay with the fact if I put hands on your son?
I understand that Kris wants to defend Kim, which I think he should to some degree, but he really doesn't know the relationship that we all have together.
As the duo's colorful language temporarily acted as the soundtrack to Bora Bora's gorgeous resort, neither sibling proved willing to give the other an inch. Luckily, Rob left before things escalated further.
We're all
Wait,
holding
isn't that
him.
him? That's him.
It's crazy.
He's totally running right over there.
Number 9. Kim and Jonathan vs. Khloé and Malika. Due to the famous family dominating the reality TV scene for more than a decade, Keeping Up with the Kardashians has been able to push some of the sisters' acquaintances into the limelight.
You knew how many people were coming on
She
this
had
trip.
a bedroom. And
No, she didn't. She
Yes,
wanted
she
her to
did.
sleep with me.
Over the years, E-Series has made it crystal clear that any family trip is bound to result in a huge blowout. But here, the presence of Kim and Khloé's best friends only added fuel to the already roaring fire.
Jonathan and I click, we vibe. He doesn't need to entertain me all day.
He sits in the corner and juggles until you laugh. Stop.
Arguing over who should get which room, the conflict quickly jumped from 0 to 60 when Jonathan accused Khloé of playing second fiddle to Kim. Ouch.
Get your head out of everybody else's ass and pay attention to your family trip.
Number 8. The sisters versus Kris and Rob.
People magazine, how Blac Chyna went from Kardashian insider to enemy.
As Robert Kardashian and Kris Jenner's only son, Rob seems to have struggled the most to embrace the spotlight, even going so far as to not appear during quite a few of the later seasons of the show.
He can't find his way right now. He's lost.
Are you paying for his down payment, Corilla?
Rob's relationship with Blac Chyna was a point of contention throughout the Kardashian household, one that exploded when the couple moved out of Khloé's house and Kris decided to buy them some real estate.
You should not be paying for your son that is almost 30 years old to buy a house. Drop him. Cut the cord.
Accused of coddling Rob and refusing to cut the cord, Kris quickly drew the scrutiny of the Kardashian sisters.
You all have to have somebody to blame and criticize instead of saying, what's the problem?
The problem is you.
Yes, it is. No, all of you can off and go think of something else to talk about.
Number 7. Khloé versus Kourtney. Keeping Up with the Kardashians shines the brightest whenever Khloé, Kim, and Kourtney share a scene, as the family's core trio elevates cursing to an Olympic sport.
Don't chime in if you're not gonna get on your
Have
phone
fun
all the
tonight.
time.
Okay, bye.
You're like a waste of space in my meter right now.
Understandably upset over Kourtney's persistent tardiness and lack of interest in spending time with her sisters, Khloé finally decides that enough is enough and tears into her sibling, when she spends a boat ride talking on her phone, instead of enjoying the sights.
I'm always the one complaining to get you guys to have fun. I'm not gonna be crazy, okay?
The tension remains relatively high for the rest of the evening. However, the squabbling ends after a seemingly random insult.
What does that say, Ghirardelli chocolate?
That's what I told you before you.
Number 6. Kris versus Caitlyn. Ever since premiering in 2007, the Kardashians have regularly made headlines due to various controversies.
There's this big, hate to say it, but sex tape
Yes.
that is out of you.
I obviously made it. I need to take responsibility for what I've done.
However, nothing really compares to Caitlyn Jenner's transition and the drama that ensued. After Caitlyn's Vanity Fair article painted a not-so-flattering portrait of the family, Khloé eventually hit back during a Howard Stern interview, criticizing Caitlyn for not telling the family about her planned transition.
I am on this New York press trip, and I am getting insane, aggressive texts from Caitlyn.
With both parties feeling betrayed, things came to a head when an emotional Kris called Caitlyn to defend Khloé, although her plea mainly fell on deaf ears.
You were her father. Okay, but you were her dad since she was 5 years old. Like, give her a break.
Number 5. Kourtney versus Kim. When dealing with any Kardashian storyline, pinpointing when reality turns into fiction can be an insurmountable challenge. So sometimes the best option is to simply roll with the punches.
I just don't get why they use our name and likeness and don't pay us.
If Kourtney and Kim want to spend an entire episode arguing over the former's refusal to be in the latter's ridiculously lucrative mobile game, then just microwave some popcorn, sit back, and enjoy the ride.
Court, are you serious?
I don't want to be in your video game.
I got it. You're not going to be in it.
While Kim's decision to not pay royalties to her sisters seems seemingly unnecessary, the second oldest Kardashian sibling rightly points out that Kourtney has to do literally nothing to appear in the game.
Buy her a pair of shoes, all the I've done for her. I said to Scott, I'm not buying her a pair of shoes, I bought her a career.
Number 4. Kendall versus Kylie. While the Kardashian siblings tend to be at the forefront of any family squabble, occasionally the focus shifts to the Jenner sisters.
She's not taking any of my clothes, right? She can't wear that.
With Caitlyn scheduled to receive the Arthur Ashe Courage Award at the ESPY Awards, the young Instagram icons were naturally nervous prior to the ceremony, and the tension finally boiled over when Kylie denied Kendall's request to borrow a dress.
It's not necessary to borrow my I'm just literally the biggest bitch I've ever touche.
After a huge fight that featured a cameo by Kylie's dogs, the sisters realized their anger was merely a way to alleviate some of the stress surrounding Caitlyn's award ceremony.
I'm sorry. And give them both wet.
Number 3. Kris versus Kim.
It's not funny. Get out if you're gonna continue to laugh.
Time for a trip down memory lane. All the way back in season 2, the Kardashians tried to plan a family trip. Unfortunately, Kim's eyes remained firmly glued to her phone.
I didn't plan this vacation. I would rather not be here. I'm sick. I don't want to be in the cold. I wouldn't have come.
Irritated by Kim's lack of interest, Kris opted for a rather hands-on approach to dispensing with the issue.
Or we could just take these little things and maybe throw them away.
After confiscating and ditching her daughter's phone, Kris quickly learned that a battle is not over until Kim gets the last word. In this case, the argument climaxed with the resounding thud of Kris's phone crashing to the floor after a single story drop.
Let's see if yours work.
It's what she deserves.
Number 2. Kim's purse versus Khloé. If you're gonna embarrass Kim Kardashian, be prepared for a world of hurt.
Now I know about my sister.
Even though each sibling contributes to the family's businesses, Kim has always been the most preoccupied with maintaining a certain degree of professionalism while in public. Sadly, Kourtney and Khloé tend to have other plans.
Yelling at her, telling her $35,000.
I said you're wasting everybody's time and money by having us sit here. Don't us tell us what's going on. And he said, baby, talk about wasting money. I put $35,000 into this car for free.
Annoyed by the duo's antics at a car dealership, Kim stormed Rob's apartment armed with a purse and an axe to grind. After letting off some steam on Khloé's shoulder, Kim fled the apartment to a chorus of insults from her sisters.
Don't be
Rude.
Are you kidding me? I swear to God,
Stop.
don't be
What are you
throw the thing on me. I'll hurt you. Don't do that.
Stop. Oh my.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
No, Kourtney. I will never again borrow your stuff. I don't get people that are so selfish like you. It's disgusting to be related to you.
We're joking. We've had the store for 4 million years, literally. Are you on drugs? You're complaining about tile on the floor. You can't even do the buying on time.
That's the first time you've ever got me in your entire life.
Why are you being so defensive?
You're hilarious. Buy it yourself, you moron.
Send me the link. Send me the link, bro. Send me the link.
Number 1. Kourtney versus Kim.
Then don't be in it. Because you're so annoying.
Perfect. Then shut up.
14 seasons and over a decade later, Kourtney is finally tired of this whole reality TV lifestyle and refuses to prioritize a Christmas-themed photo shoot over taking care of her children.
Maybe if you had a business that you were passionate about, then you would know what it takes to run a business, but you don't. So don't even act like you know what I'm talking about.
Unsurprisingly, Kim, who planned the event, is not particularly pleased with this development and blasts Kourtney for being the least interesting member of the family.
She's the least exciting to look at. So she can be out. She doesn't do shit. She doesn't know what it's like to actually have work to do.
Containing multiple emotional outbursts and a painfully tense photo shoot, Season 15's premiere was completely dominated by Kim and Kourtney's fight, with the sisters barely burying the hatchet by the end of the episode.
Hello?
Hey.
Hi.
Are you crying?
Yeah, I'm not here to be mistreated by my bitch family.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.